Good morning, trading world. It is April 25th, 2022, and this is my pre-market outlook and technical analysis for day trading the SPY. All right, the title for today's outlook is basically what I'm expecting. I'm expecting, a while back I kind of named this, or kind of talked about this formation where it's similar to you going to the pool and dipping your toe in and then stepping back and getting a running start to jump or dive in the pool. That's basically what I expect to happen today. But instead of the pool, we're using channels. So I'm expecting us to dip our toes into the next channel before a pullback, and then getting that running start to completely dive in. I expect overnight to continue, which we pretty much have. We pretty much stayed at the same level, or just a little bit lower through the overnight session. But I expect this to continue dipping the toe in, and we might get all the way up to the ankle before reversing for a sharp pullback before the bigger dive in. What's scary to me is that we just had a huge move this past week. I mean, the type of move that you rarely ever see, because I can maybe count. Actually, I think I may have seen this maybe once in my trading career, where we break through the upper edge of the expected move, and then at the end of the week we break through the lower edge of the expected move. I mean, that is some serious movement. And with all of that happening, it took VIX a while to even wake up. And I think I saw a comment or something where the VIX moved 24%. The VIX moved, but it wasn't what I thought it should have moved in relation to the size of the move that we just had in the SPY. So to even add to that, something that I look for all the time is the VIX time frames in backwardation. That lets us know when something is really serious, when the short-term VIX is higher than the longer-term VIX. That is that indication to let you know a move is really serious, that things are really going down. And last week, as of last week and as of this morning, we're still not in backwardation when it comes to the VIX. So that just lets you know VIX is looking at all of this like you ain't seen nothing yet. There are much bigger moves ahead. So be prepared, because this will get crazy. And one of the things that with VIX pushing this high and not yet in backwardation and seeing a move this large, for me, in my technical side of trading, this could render the intraday time periods, anything below 4 hour, almost useless, because the moves are going to be ginormous. So if you're looking at a 30-minute chart, 5-minute chart, it will do you no good in the next sessions. All right, with that being said, let's get to the key levels of the day. All right, here we are with the key levels for today. Days like today, where I say intraday charts, anything under the 4 hour are almost useless. That's almost a given to almost not put faith into the jack support and resistance level, because those are based on, those are usually based on the shorter time frames. So, but let me go over the levels either way. On the resistance side, the jack resistance is going to be 423 to the 424 area. On the queen resistance, we're going to have 429 to the 431 area. And then the king resistance is going to be 432 all the way up to the 436 area. On the support side, we have jack support at 421 to the 420 area. Queen support, we have 419 to the 417 area. And then king support, we have 417 to the 411 area. I'm sorry, let me correct that right now. All right, here we go. The correction on the king support area, we should be 413 to the 411 area. Excuse me. All right. I should see the makings of a bounce start, but at this point, it seems that we could still go lower in building for this bounce to happen. So this is a very, very dangerous session, so I advise you to be very cautious, because the moves in both directions are going to be large. All right. The thesis for today, the main thesis is bullish, closing above the 426.04 area with a projected high or target of 431 to 436. Now, the alternate thesis, which could end up being a lot more explosive, is bearish, and that's closing below the 426.04 with a projected low or target of 417 to 411. The channel we closed in on Friday was 453 down to 425, with the next major channel being 425 down to 416. All right, the outlook for the week, the main thesis for the week is bearish, closing below 426.04, calling for retracement up towards the 437 area. and it's highly likely we might get all of that retracement today. So it becomes very, very hard to see levels when the VIX starts moving this much. So bear with me. And I guess from there we can try to get into the scenarios for today. All right, here we go with the first and most probable scenario for today. It's our expansive range day structure. Coming into the open, we could be looking at a push up, and then somewhere along the line, we're going to get a reversal before we get to the previous close, probably at the jack, somewhere around that jack resistance level, and we're going to go set the lower boundary for the day, and that could be somewhere between the jack and queen support area. And then from there we could possibly see a sharp push up and continue up across the previous close, making this that expansive range day with a continued push up and then possibly fading into the close. So that's our scenario number one, the expansive range day. All right, the next scenario could be our rounded reversal day type structure. We could get a continued push lower toward the queen or king support area and find our midday chop around either that queen or king should be support area before spending the same amount of energy we use coming down to go back up the second half of the day. Now, with this scenario, there's also a vice versa warning where we could continue up and look something like this on the day, where we continue up for a good ways and then the second half of the day come down. Another warning that I want to give when VIX is this high, when it comes to these day structures, when VIX is this high, we could basically go through what seems like 2 day structures in one day. And on the other end, it could also feel like it takes 2 days for one large day structure to play out. So when VIX gets this high, things get abnormally crazy. So it's very hard to kind of pin down the day structure when VIX starts raging like this. All right, all right, and here we go with the last scenario, which is our trend day down, which means we open gap down and start with a slight rally back towards the previous close. We find resistance on or before that previous close, then begin the downtrend for the morning. We find midday chop around either the possible queen or king support area before what's usually kind of head fake to continue the trend morning trend, but we eventually turn around and get a slight rally into the close. And I shouldn't say slight, because in this environment there's nothing going to be slight about any move. They are going to be powerful in every way and in every direction. So those are the scenarios for today. Friday, I put out a list of stocks that I would be looking to kind of jump back into or open positions in once we got some type of pullback. That pullback did not happen at all on Friday, but I'm holding tight to that list because that pullback could be today. So that's what we're looking at. As always, please know and understand your risk. When I'm taking trades like this, where I'm stepping in front of a freight train, I'm always using some type of vertical spread. It makes no sense to me to jump in and take the full brunt of a move, especially when it's moving like a freight train. It's hard for me to see standing in front of that with just a straight call or straight put. But as always, please know and understand your risk. Wishing you a positive trading day. Have a great one.